Hi everyone, welcome to this week's my weekly CBS Fix. I hope you are well. This week's parsha is Haftaras Braishis, the first of all the parshas in the Torah. I would like to start with you a slightly new project in which we would discuss the weekly Haftarah portions of the Torah. Haftarah or Haftarah is a section that was written from the prophets. Our sages enacted that we should say it, read it every single week. And the reason for this was once upon a time, under the rule of Antiochus, the Jews were forbidden from studying any Torah at all. But this decree was only on the 5 books of Moses, and the Jewish people had no choice. They couldn't read it publicly, but they didn't have any problem if we read from the books of the prophets or the books of the Ksuvim, the writings. And so therefore, the sages made us read at least 21 verses from the books of prophets, a section that would correlate with the weekly parsha. So in this week's parsha, we read from chapter 42 of the book of Isaiah. Isaiah is the book that is most oft used for the reading of the prophets. So we'll be discussing Isaiah a lot. Isaiah talks a lot of prophecies, especially during the times that Moshiach will come. Now, in this week's Haftarah, so the prophet Isaiah says, "So said Hashem, who created the heavens and spread them out." Hashem created the heavens and he spread them out. And the Radak, Rabbi David Kimchi, a medieval philosopher, commentary, he explains that the reason why many times throughout the prophets, throughout the Torah also, we see that the prophets specifically use the phraseology of the creator of the heavens and the earth. And he explains the reason why they did that was because many people thought the world just came here by itself. There's no real God, there's no real power. Some people, the world was somehow God here, but it doesn't have a God, but it's under some jurisdiction of something out there. Like a lot of people tell me, I don't believe in God, but I believe in a higher power. I said, okay, I just call that higher power God. Like you can call whatever name you want. At the end of the day, it's just God. So some people had that mindset. There's no God. It's just something is out there. And other people, like we said before, just didn't believe in anything. And so therefore, the prophets always stressed that there was a God that created everything. He created the heavens and the earth. And our sages go on to say that when people built on it, they started when you build a building, you have to first make a foundation, then the first floor, and then the second floor. You can't make the top floor first and then do the reverse. But Hashem, he's able to do everything in the reverse. Hashem first made the heavens and then he made the earth. Or some compare it to a ship. First you got to make the bow, and then you got to make the lower part of the ship, then the upper part of the ship. Whereas Hashem, he did the opposite. First Hashem made the heavens, and then he made the earth. Another parable or analogy you could say is it's like a stage. The stage is where the main character stands, and that's where he acts or she acts. But at the same time, up on top of the stage is a whole bunch of lights and a spotlight and different colorful lights. There's a lot of things going on up there, but all that is just secondary to the stage and to the main performer who's over here. So Hashem first created the lights to shine down on the main character of which is the earth. Just one other thing I just want to share with you, that the Me'am Lois explains that all these verses over here are actually referring to a time that when Moshiach will come, Hashem will enlighten everybody, all the blind people, whether they're Jewish blind people, whether they're nations of the world, they're going to see miracles that have never been seen before. And everybody who was blind, who was deaf, blind and deaf, not literally, but blind and deaf, blind to seeing Hashem, or deaf to hearing about Hashem, or hearing the different signs, or seeing the different miracles that have happened in people's life. All of a sudden, everybody will have an instant awareness of Hashem, and Mashiach will come. He'll have plenty of power. His power will never diminish. I don't mean physical might power, but the strength to be able to explain to whoever needs explanation anything about the Torah. And eventually there'll be unity among the Jewish people, the non-Jewish people. One day, Bayom Ahugi Hashem Echad, and that day Hashem's name will be one, and his name will be one, and everybody will serve Hashem. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful Shabbos.